Yo, what's up, my boys? It's time to redo the rest of Druid guide for 9.2 because the last version was a bit fucked. The background music was way too loud, but yeah, let's get into the juice. So, first up, I quickly wanna give you a show around of my UI. Actually, I made some changes here and there, and I think it got super clean. And it's definitely gonna help you improve your gameplay. So if you're interested in a super clean UI, if you wanna change some things, you can sub to my Twitch and then basically get it as a download link and a setup guide as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for the guide, or like the no, not for the guide, for the interface, of course. But yeah, let's keep going with the guide. So first up, general things about Druid. So how good is RESTO Druid in the current meta? I would say it's definitely like the second best healer. It's not as good as Holy Priest, but I think especially if you get the 4 set, it's definitely up there. You can play a lot of comps. I think it's the best healer for Turbo, might be, if Holy Priest gets a bit tuned, I would say. I mean, Turbo is kind of busted right now, but either something like Turbo or double caster leaf I would play with RESTO Druid. DHDK works as well. I mean, RESTO Druid is pretty versatile. You can play a lot of comps, to say the least. But yeah, let's get into the talent section here. I'm actually spec to Pharaoh. Let me actually quickly spec to Resto. There we go. So about talents, nothing really changed from 9.1.5. You still want to play Surrounding Ward, Wild Charge, Guardian Infinity basically every single game. For In-Cap Raw, it's just too good. And then Mighty Bash, Soul of the Forest, Overgrowth, and Germ. The only thing you can change up is like Mass Entanglement for Mighty Bash. You might want to play that into BM Hunters to root the pets. But other than that, you basically can keep it like that. And the next talent that was also like pretty good against RMP, you can try Flourish. If you are hard struggling into RMP, you can actually try to Flourish, pre-hot the target when he gets bombed. So the Flourish goes through and he might be able to survive. But yeah, it's going to be it for the talent section. Let's talk about PvP talents. PvP talents, you pretty much always want to play Focus Growth and Keeper of the Grove. Those are pretty much locked. And as the last talents, you can either play Reactive Resin or Taunts into double melee. But that's about PvP talents as well. So yeah, let's chat about the gear, covenants, and legendary. So you definitely still want to play Maldraxxus, and you are definitely going for Plague Deviser Malorith here. Ready for anything. Well-known Instincts, Flow Recycling, Evolved Swarm, and Innate Resolve. I purposely skipped this row because this is how you want to build it, because into some matchups you might want to kite with Tireless Pursuit, but into Rogues, for example, you want to have that big bear to pre-bear Ghost, right? So this is where you change the things up. And in terms of gear, you still want to stack as much Verse and Haste as you can get. And the first step would be a little bit of Mastery. You can actually, I'm actually socketing some Mastery gems right now, but you kind of want to get above 20% haste, not gonna lie. And in terms of legendary, you still want to play Verdant Infusion. Even though it got nerfed a little bit, it's gonna make it a little bit harder to actually refresh your Cenarion Ward. So you gotta be really quick on the first swiftment after you press Cenarion Ward, and then you might get a second one in. And in terms of trinket, you kind of want to play BM, the new BM, or the new magical damage absorb trinket, which drops from Seraph Mortis. You can farm it there or just buy from Conquest as well. And of course, like the 4-set bonus is going to be quite insane too. So yeah, that's going to be it for the gear, legendary, and covenant section. So let's talk about the juice. Let's talk about some tips and tricks, yeah, on the rest of the wood. So I would say like the biggest mistake I see a lot of residuals doing is that they have not HOTS up. Even like you need to have HOTS on all targets, at least one rejuvenation. You want to have it up on all targets basically, and you want to make sure that your HOTS are always running. So do not have a target unhotted, because they might want to swap on the target, and if you have one single hot on him, you can still swift him into NS if they have like a big one-shot go, which is like Shadowlands, right? So make sure that you always have a hot up on anyone. Then you want to make sure that you do not overlap Cenarion Ward with Ironbark. You always want to use Cenarion Ward with Adaptive Swarm or Ironbark with Adaptive Swarm. So you want to use Ironbark, Adaptive Swarm together basically, and that's going to be your safe zone. And then of course you want to have your HOTS rolling, right? Have triple life bloom on the target, and then your other HOTS basically. And then what you can also do, you always want to kind of cast a regrowth after you use your Swiftman. Do not really use it on regrowth, it's kind of bad. It's definitely better on regrowths. So let's talk about overgrowth and nature swiftness. Overgrowth is something that you want to use when you got the seed, yeah, and they're on the target, and the horse ran out of the target. You wanna overgrowth him, and then you can, if it's not enough, you can either swiftment into nature swiftness, or if you have the time, you can scenario ward into swiftment into a big NS. But usually, overgrowth, swiftment, and then NS out to save a target, right? That's basically it. Yo, what's up, Hitsu, man? And that's about it for like general cooldown usage. When it comes to, I mean, there's one more left, right? We still have Flashcraft left, and we still have Trank. Like this should be your out, yeah. So if you're in trouble, you kind of want to use, like, do not waste Trank. It's important that you kind of keep your trinket and Trank for the last possible second, so you can trinket Trank. But yeah, I mean, like, that would be it for like some general tips. I mean, the biggest ones are definitely, I see a lot of residues are failing, is like, do not overlap scenario and ward for Ironbark. You wanna change those things up, yeah. You wanna scenario and ward and Adaptive Swarm a target, and then Ironbark Adaptive Swarm a target. Do not like yeah, well, overlap these two things. But yeah, that's going to be it for like tips and tricks. So let's conclude this whole guide with saying I personally think that RESTO is kind of good right now. You can definitely make it work. It's definitely the best healer after Holy Priest. But RESTO Shaman is kind of looking strong as well. And yeah, but like RESTO is a lot of fun, especially it's Biz in 2v2. You can play with Survival Hunter there. And you're gonna have a lot of success probably. But yeah, that's going to be it for this quick guide, and peace out.